Hi, okay guys, it's G here with Lorenzo, and we're going to do Wargame Wednesday episode 17-ish. Depending on when you watch this video, there's going to be a whole bunch of shit going up on the website, so this might be episode 17, it might be episode friggin' 19, who knows. But right now, we're going to call it episode 17. We're playing Firestorm Armada this week, we're playing Scenario 3, I can't remember what it's called, and Lorenzo has the paper.
Here we go. Scenario 3 is critical defense. The attackers
Just read the fluff.
have located an installation that is critical to the defender's control of this sector and must destroy it to gain strategic advantage prior to moving their invasion fleet. The defenders know this and are rushing reinforcements to the installation as fast as they possibly can.
This game is actually supposed to be 8 turns. We're going to cut it down to 6. Other than that, there's really nothing to talk about. So we're going to come back once Lorenzo's finished deploying his stuff. And I expect to lose this game.
Okay, so I ended up winning the initiative role, and I decided to be attacker and let G be the defender. G elected to place his asteroid installations, which use the military installation rules, like so. I deployed my forces as so. The reasons should be pretty obvious. And I've chosen to use my gunships first, and I played an engine overburn card to get them a little more distance to make sure I could get them into range band 2. So, I'm gonna roll the 15 AD and see what happens.
That sounds horrible, sorry the way I phrased that. Okay, so Lorenzo's gunships did a point of damage.
Yeah,
they didn't do
one point of
nothing.
damage to the space station, and that's about it.
The space station launched a wing of fighters, and then it also is shooting its gun at the, I guess, the closest gunship, which at this point would be either one of them. So I'm going to just choose after. Okay, so I did a point of damage with the asteroid station, which is that big circle with the dice on it.
Yep.
To his gunship.
Yep, and moved up my squad of painted cruisers. I'm in range band 3, and I'm firing at the station.
Just put it on the floor, I'll grab it in a minute. Okay, so that flight that the space station launched attacked the gunship. 2 ships died. Lorenzo rolled 5, 5, 6, 6. So killed 2, and the other 3 were fine. They attacked. Okay, so Lorenzo moved that squadron of cruisers that he's lovely pointing at with his nice ring. All I saw, dude, was like your thumb and your ring. Yeah, range band 3.
Installation and
Again.
range
Okay,
band 3.
so Lorenzo at range band 3 didn't manage to do anything.
Yeah, that's alright.
Range band 3's killing you.
Alright.
What am I filming?
Well, film your...
Oh yeah, my carrier shot
carrier.
at his gunship, then 1 point of damage with its torpedoes through the asteroid belt, which is unfathomable.
And then I activated this squad of painted frigates and didn't do anything to a station.
Okay, so now I'm left with my destroyer.
So G elected to deploy his destroyers via full space entry. Well, actually, he had to.
I don't have the destroyer.
Yeah, he rolled a 6, so they came in fine. He deployed them over here, fired at range band 3. He deployed them with cut engines, by the way.
You have to.
Okay. And fired at my gunships, and apparently didn't do anything. And then I rolled to deploy the frigates I got from the rolling at the start of the turn. And I rolled a 2, so they can't come in this turn and can't come in next turn either. So now I have 2 squads of frigates left to use, and I'm going to go about using them. Okay, so I activated my painted squad of frigates and did 1 point of damage to the space station, and then I activated these 2 frigates over here, and he cancelled enough of the shields that they didn't do any damage. That completes the end of the first turn, and we're going to see who goes first next turn, and then we're going to keep going with the game. Our beer
Shake again!
You ready?
Yeah.
Our beer of the week this week is Muskoka Brewery's Mad Tom IPA.
Well, it's his beer of the week.
That's right, it's my beer of the week.
My beer of the week
this
is
one
Rick's
hell
Red.
of an India Pale Ale. It's got some great fruit aromatics, and it's got a really, really strong hop kick, like a real unwatered down IPA, and it's really good beer. I highly recommend trying it.
Yeah, now back to the game.
Right, now back to the game. I activated my gunships first, because, like, why the hell not? I managed to do 1 point of damage to the installation, and
drove off a squad of fighters.
Yep, drove off a squad of fighters while killing 1 of them. So, all in all, that was reasonable for my first activation.
Yeah. It's recording, but just let me pan.
Okay, so I did 1 point of damage with the first squad of painted cruisers, did I not?
Yeah.
And then I used my, he fired...
The bomber wing.
Right. The bomber wing, he fired at my gunships and scored a critical. So that one only has 1 HP left. And then I activated my unpainted squad of cruisers and fired at the installation. I did 20 points of damage altogether, so it
was spectacular.
Very, very dead. So now it's his turn, and I believe he still has
carrier.
The carrier
and his base.
And the destroyers.
No, destroyer shot at the beginning of the turn.
They did? No, they didn't.
Oh no, they haven't.
They definitely haven't shot yet.
You're right. Yeah. All right. So the destroyers there shot at Lorenzo's
unpainted squad of cruisers and did 1 point of damage to the middle one.
Because that's the only one they can shoot at.
Yep. All right. So I activated my one of my squads of painted frigates, moved it up. Couldn't shoot at anything anyway through the asteroid field. The installation shot at the frigates. It killed one of the frigates with its port guns, and its torpedoes failed to do anything. So now it's my turn.
Lorenzo's moving his whole army.
Yeah, I moved up some more frigates.
You had to convince me to film this. I didn't want to film this. I didn't think you needed to see this.
Activated 2 squads, one of bombers, one of fighters.
And I just want to point out, because we are playing with the new, I guess, I don't want to call it second edition, but the new edition of the rulebook.
Yeah.
So fighters now are a lot easier to move. You have a dice that marks how many fighters are in a wing. You cannot have more than 6 fighters in a wing.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say fighters. You can't have more than 6 wings in a flight. So when you move a flight, it's a token and a d6. Yeah. It's so much better than moving freaking tokens around, finding tokens. Awesome. Best change in the edition so far. And that's it, really.
So I activated my 2 gunships first and rolled a total of 11 AD against the second installation with my port guns. And with 11 dice, I managed to roll a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of damage.
So, good game. Because I'm intelligent, I zoomed in over you, don't worry. Because I'm intelligent, I decided to use my destroyers before Lorenzo moved his cruisers. I almost didn't. I almost shot at his gunships just out of, like, habit. But I learned, and I shot with my destroyers, and they actually managed to do a critical hit to that middle cruiser, so now its movement is halved. Which is, I'll take it. No, it's recording now. That wasn't on there.
Oh, okay.
And now you'll never know.
So I brought in one of the squads of frigates that I rolled at the start of, the one I rolled at the start of 2 turns ago, which failed to come in on full space entry at that turn and couldn't come in until this turn. So I brought them in over there in range band 2, fired at the installation, did a point of damage, but he canceled it with his shields, and it's his activation now.
Yeah. Of course, they'll Bob the Builder. I hate my life. That asteroid station shot at Laura's gunship and killed one. As you can see, there's now only 1 gunship, and the frig that was behind it that was already wounded.
Yep.
Okay, as you can see there's a bomber wing that's in contact with that gunship. It flew past a frigate. Frigate took its point defense, but didn't do anything, and then the gunship killed 2. Right? That's how it happened?
Yep.
So then there was only 4 left. They rolled their dice. They did a critical hit. I got a
hard pounding.
Yeah.
So it's 2 points of damage and 2 CP AP.
Yeah. So then now
I moved my squad of 2 frigates, the bare metal ones that don't have the other stuff attached, and it's G's activation now.
Yep. And I have no idea what I even have left. Okay, so I got another bomber in there. It took 1 casualty and then it fired on the gunship.
Did 1 point of damage.
Did 1 point of damage.
I just moved the rest of my ships. That way I didn't do any more damage to his installation. Then
this turn.
G brought
I moved on my frigates.
Squads of frigates using full space entry. And they are firing at the painted squad of frigates over there, the 3 frigates here. They're using 3 of the ships are linking fire for 8 dice with their torpedoes at one of the ships. And then the other ship is splitting its 4 PD across all 3 ships, so I have to split my 5 PD as 2, 1, 1, and 1.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, that image should basically just summarize. It's actually been a fairly quick game of Firestorm Armada. I brought another squad of frigates. I actually did manage to, kill 1 this time, which is good.
Yeah.
That's basically it. It's turn 4. Lorenzo gets his battleship, and we'll see what else.
Okay, so I activated the front. Oh, nice, bumping the camera. That's great. I'm just gonna. Okay, so I activated that front squad of painted frigates. I don't know if we already recorded that. Fired at the installation, didn't do anything. G then attempted to shunt in his cruisers and rolled a 4 so they don't come in until next turn. And then I activated a squad of unpainted frigates, you see behind the painted frigates, and fired at the installation and managed to do 1 point of damage, so it has 5 HP left. Okay, so G fired with the installation at my squad of frigates and didn't do any damage. And then I activated those the squad with only 2 painted frigates remaining. I moved it up, fired at the installation, and didn't accomplish anything. So now it's G's activation, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I activated my painted squad of cruisers. I moved them into position to fire at the installation. I scored a critical with their 4 fixed guns, and I scored another critical with their torpedoes.
Thank God.
So the installation now has 1 HP left. And between that, I believe G activated his destroyers because he's already in full-on let's call the game mode. So I brought in my battleship, I shunted it in to go for the kill shot because what the hell, why not?
Because I'm tired of being here.
I rolled 16 AD and managed to score 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 points of damage, which is a double critical. It's dead. Good game.